Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, dear viewers, and welcome to Success Path, where we explore different success stories and highlight brilliant, different individuals who are leaving a positive impact into our society. Our guest today is Habib Al-Had Jaffal. He is a brilliant content creator whose work bridges the gap between education and art. With a distinctive approach, he combines his passion for voice performance and teaching all at once together. Habib Al-Had Jaffal, welcome with us. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that.
You are very welcome. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Habib Allah?
Yes, my name is Habib. I am a teacher of English. I teach English online. I'm also a content creator. And I also do voiceovers for individuals or companies and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's very interesting. How would you describe the moment that you realized that you had a message and a voice that you would want to share with the world?
Well, before content creating, I did not realize that I had the opportunity to have that platform in which I can share my ideas. And the moment I realized I do have a platform, so I was really happy to have that chance because I always wanted to share my experiences, and thoughts, whether it comes to English or voiceovers or stuff like that. So yeah, it was really an excellent moment for me.
That's very interesting.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Habib Allah.
My pleasure.
Dear viewers, let's go and come back to continue our interesting conversation with Habib Allah. We are back in Roots of Vision to talk and have our conversation with Habib Allah. So tell us now that like many creators aim to stand out. What do you think that is special about your approach and about the way that you show us and post your content and...
Yeah. Well, to be honest, when I first started, I did not know that it was special because I was just, doing quotes from movies or even actually video games sometimes. But then some people got really interested in the way that I present and got interested in the voiceovers, and they kept asking for more. So it was something that was special for me because not everybody was just teaching English, but me, I mixed it with voiceovers, with teaching English, and that's what people like. That's what drawn people. It's my
that's
content.
what made it special.
Right, that's what.
Okay, now how do you balance with teaching and content creating and doing voice covers and keeping it updated and keeping it like daily?
Right. First, I knew that there is a way of mixing between English and voiceovers. So a lot of people, they have been watching, for example, movies or series or, even playing video games because that's how a lot of people learn English. And for me, I thought it was a good idea to balance between them, to mix them. And that was really interesting for some people because they liked that, right? And I wanted to become a voiceover artist, of course, but then I found myself as a teacher. So I had to do both, mix my hobby with my profession.
Okay, that's good. Actually, being a teacher is something that's really great, and
yeah, it is. I mean, you do have a message that you have to deliver.
Of course,
it's really important.
I mean, also voiceover is a message, so.
Yes, especially if you have a lot of thoughts that you need to share with your audience.
Of course. Like when you're performing a voice cover, how do you prepare and how do you bring it to life?
That's always been a challenge for me because putting emotion into a script, it was really difficult. But then again, a lot of people just used to tell me that you sound very robotic, and it was difficult to show emotions. But then what I used to do is just imagine a situation or something that you're in, and you just do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So you just imagine the scene And the details and the emotions will show up.
Right. You have to take some time imagining.
Yeah.
Because you have to get into the role.
Of course,
actually.
yes. Okay, it's often said that art reflects the artist. How do you see your personality and experiences reflected in the content you create?
Well, the content I create is basically voiceover and teaching, and that's always been my life because I've, studied English, and since I studied English, I mixed it up with voiceover, and it was something I found myself to be very good at. So, yeah, that's basically my experience as a teacher led me to create this content.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they wanted to learn English, especially nowadays.
Yes,
they need
of
it
course.
more than any time. So, yeah, that's it.
That's good. How do you maintain the authentic connection with your audience and make them feel so close to you and engaged with you?
I think if you're naturally authentic, people are going to feel that. They're going to feel the way that you are. They're going to feel the message that you're trying to deliver. They're gonna feel how sincere you are.
Yeah,
especially like I noticed that as a teacher, if students see what you're doing is very out of your heart, so they're gonna love you. They're gonna love you, and I think that's just be genuine, just be you, be authentic.
Okay.
Right. That's basically what happened.
Okay, so what do you think helped you more at your content creating, being a teacher or doing voice covers?
Definitely being a teacher. Definitely being a teacher, because a lot of people, like I said, they've been drawn to learning English.
Yeah, exactly.
And that helped me, help them, because sometimes people, they come to you and they tell you that what you're doing is really great, and that encouraged me a lot. So being a teacher, and sometimes even when I meet people outside, they tell me, "Oh, you're the TikTok guy," and I say, "No, I'm the English teacher, not the TikTok guy."
That's great.
So,
I think we can know from our conversation what's your favorite thing to do.
It's definitely teaching.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear viewers, let's go to the jingle and come back to continue our conversation with Habib Allah. So we are back. In your experience, Habiballah, how does the audience reaction differ between your educational content and your voice cover content?
It's definitely different. Definitely. Sometimes, for example, when I focus a lot, if I post a video and I focus a lot on voiceovers, you'll find a lot of English speakers comment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then when I focus on English teaching, you would find other people commenting, other people wanting to learn more. So they're definitely both different audience, but sometimes, yeah, they're the same audience when it comes to English and voiceovers.
Okay, so many artists struggle with self-critics. How do you access your work and device when you're satisfied with your performance?
I don't think as an artist you can ever be satisfied. Like, there's always room for improvement. There's always,
of course,
you want to improve and do what you like and do it even better sometimes if you have the opportunity to become better. So, yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the hard challenges that you faced, and what are the ways and the methods that you use to overcome these challenges?
Well, when it comes to voiceovers, I have not actually encountered any, challenges. But teaching, a lot of things encounter me. For example, when it comes to, including your own method when it comes to teaching your kids, or your students. Like I say, my kids.
Yes,
so that's what
cute.
I say all the time. So yeah, implementing my method and trying to cope with it, that was the biggest challenge, and trying to get them to like the language, to get them to like what you do, because as soon as they like you, they will definitely like
it's
English.
sold. The language is being learned. So
Right, exactly.
Okay, now are these specific messages or ideas you aim to include in your content?
Well, there are some social ones that I intend to share in the future. However, mostly what I focus on now is just educational. For example, the teaching method. What I like to focus on, for example, is contextualized learning.
Yeah.
which is, in Arabic we say تعلم سياقي, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be in the context in order for you to learn. Some people don't do that. Some people, they just use grammar to teach people, and that's,
exactly.
I don't like that. I want to change that, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Okay, how do you see yourself developing, I mean, new learning skills, or I don't know, maybe you're trying to incorporate new methods of teaching in your method, or?
Right. That's exactly what I was saying. To be able to have your own method, and of course, for me as someone who studied linguistics, so I know what needs to be done in order for someone to learn a new language.
Yeah.
And usually, what I use is the technique of shadowing. Like, I think it's a Japanese technique in which you just try to imitate and you do it more, because that's the way that everybody's learning English,
yeah.
right? Just imitate. Written repetition is really important.
Yes, of
So
course.
that's what I focus on.
How about content creating? I mean, how do you aim to develop your content creation?
How do I aim to develop my content creation? Well, like I said, I have some social ideas that I'd like to share in the future in my content. One of the things that I like to do, for now, my platform is usually focused on online teaching.
Okay.
But in the future, it's definitely going to be something different. I'm trying to focus on. Definitely.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Now, what advice would you give to the people who are watching us, to the young people who are watching us today? I mean, some fundamental, life-changing hack or advice, or?
Well, I would like to just share one thing. Someone said, I don't know exactly who, but if you can practice patience, then you can practice anything.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something, you have to be patient. Do not expect that you do it overnight. It takes time. God created heavens and the earth in 6 days. You do not expect to just something that happens immediately. It doesn't. It takes time. So God created heavens and the earth in 6 days, and He did that to show us that He was able to do everything in an instant. But let's just take time. Everything takes time.
That's very beautiful, Habiballah. Thank you so much for being with us. I really enjoyed our conversation. I hope you did too.
I did
so
a
yeah.
lot. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so
much for having me. I really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful experience.
Thank you so much for being with us. Dear viewers, we have arrived to the end of today's episode from Success Path with a special individual. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.